Portugal. There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, the live stream with the podcast, and of course the Portugal Club, where we will go for the Portuguese citizenship test question 92 this morning, everybody. We're welcoming Kevin Murphy over there. Very kind words. Thank you, Kevin, on arrival. Irish-born national, born near Boston, Massachusetts. So welcome to you. I think living down there in the south, in the Algarve, Kevin. So welcome to the Portugal Club. And I think that makes 240. Oh, 200. I thought it was 249. We're getting close to 250 members over there. Some more prominent than others. Lurkers and extroverts or ambiverts or however you want to describe yourself. Yes, pop over there. Join up. It's free to join. And you can do so with the QR code. QR code's on the screen. Very impressive last night. There you go. There's the Portugal Club QR code, top right-hand corner. And yeah, we were flexing those last night. We used this technology for the Expats Portugal webinar. The right way to start 2026 over at Expats Portugal last night with this StreamYard technology. And we did the webinar in a slightly different way. Carolina was brilliant, joined by Gilda a little bit later on in the show for the Q&A part. I thought it was really good. Were you there? Do let me know what you thought of that. That was just one exciting part of the day yesterday. And the Dream Team, the town hall at 9 as well, which was great. It was really good to be back. Gilda popped back for that. Nunu was there. Sarah Davey from Spartan FX. And a really good start. All sorts, actually. The kind of highs and lows. The lefts and the rights. It was very, very interesting, and a great, a really good celebration actually of the power of community among expats here in Portugal. And there may be people who are watching this now or later who are off to Fatima this weekend with the Expats Portugal crew. Have a great weekend there in Fatima. If you haven't been before, it's quite an extraordinary place. I don't know if any of the Gumpers watching this morning have any tips about Fatima. Do pop them into the chat. Good morning to you, Pete, Matty. Gemini. No, Matty isn't. Oh, yes, Matty is here. Matty was first this morning at 7:30. Are you any warmer? It feels actually palpably warmer to me this morning. I threw off my gilet, no euphemism intended, this morning. So, yeah, not necessarily. The body warmer, not needed this morning. It does feel much milder, although I think, isn't Storm of the Week about to arrive as well? Haven't we got another storm coming this week? I know they've got that over there on the Atlantic coast of the UK. I believe that's where it's causing trouble with a strange name as well. What's this new storm we're looking? It's definitely Storm of the Week stuff, isn't it? Stay near the radiator. Okay, so it's definitely chilly in the UK according to Chris there. What have we got for you this morning? It's a Filomena Friday. Let's get the jingle in the right place. Filomena Friday. So crane in and listen closely. Filomena Friday today. What's a clitic? We'll be talking about clitics. Honestly, I'd never heard of clitics. Everyone's a clitic. I had never heard of such a thing until yesterday morning. I'm guessing Sarah may not be joining us this morning. Sarah Yerman, a very exciting day in the Yerman household with the young lad getting married this morning. So all the best. Have a lovely day. And I think it's part of many celebrations. So have a wonderful day on this ticking the Portuguese bureaucracy box, I think, and getting married here in Portugal today. It'd be wonderful, actually, when the dust has settled on the ceremony and they've had a great time at the reception and so on and whatever they're doing today. To chat to them about what it's like to get married in Portugal. I wonder if we might be able to do that with you. But I'm sure with the least of your concerns today as you get wed, jump the broomstick, tie the knot, whichever turn of phrase you're using for that. Have a superb day and a lovely, wonderful life together, the pair of you. I don't know both of your names, but I think we know who we're talking about this morning. So, yeah, lots of love and luck to you on this very special day for you. Special days for Paulo as well. Yes, so Filomena Friday, we will be learning the words of Parabéns of você. It's probably one of the most strategic songs you can learn here in Portugal. You'll find yourself at a gathering of Portuguese folks, one of whom may be celebrating their birthday. And you'll be standing there and you'll know the tune. Parabéns a você nesta data querida. I think I've got the words wrong already, but it's a good one to learn because you'll show up and people will be amazed that you know the words if you do know them. And it's a really good way because you know the tune. It's kind of in the memory muscle. It's in the subconscious as the tune. And it gives you a load of new vocabulary. So we'll be taking a look at that because it's Paulo's birthday today. Senor Pascual, it's his birthday today. And I noticed as well, it's Jazz's birthday as well. Quinta Esencial, it's Jason. We haven't seen him on the screen for a long time. Perhaps now in the new year and as we go towards spring, it's going to be exciting to talk to him about what they've got planned for Quinta Esencial. But happy birthday to you as well, Jazz. Maybe someone could send him a message. I heard it was your birthday on Good Morning Portugal this morning. Happy birthday, mate. If you could pass on my love and best wishes if you're doing that as well this morning, that would be awesome. What a nice surprise for Jason, if you do that this morning. I believe it is his birthday today. So we'll be celebrating Paulo's birthday, Jazz's birthday, and singing the words, and singing in January as well, as we've done previously. The Portuguese like to sing in January, Janeiro. So we'll be doing that when Filomena arrives a little bit later on. And let me just make sure she has got the link to join us as well. You're very welcome to as well. If ever you want to jump onto the show and use it as a phone-in, if it's something you want to share, in this order, primarily Portugal and 50+ related. Secondly, positive if possible. And thirdly, if there's something you want to get off your chest and it's something we can help you with, then that will be another reason to jump onto the screen as well. And I noticed I am now leading the Portugal Club. So let me just change that as well. In my haste, I put the Portugal Club. Some of you may have seen that already. That's changed. You won't be seeing that typo anymore. And I'll just make sure Filomena has the link to join us. Okay, there it is. Right, she's got that now. And we'll also be scratching a Raspadinho, who I say, this morning. I quite like these. I'm partial to these. They call it the fool's tax, don't they? And I don't overplay my chances. Although sometimes I do attempt to use a kind of, thought experiment and approach this with different degrees of enthusiasm and a different sort of mental state. We might win up to 20 grand this morning when I scratch this card. I know people have different views on these, and I think the government make a hell of a lot of money, as do the company behind this. Is this the Raspadinha? What are they called? They've got a particular name, haven't they? The lottery company here. Jogos, I think. Is it Jogos Portugal? Possibly. That makes sense, doesn't it? Portugal Games. I'm going to scratch that live on air, and Paulo's going to get a case of wine if we win big. If we get 20 grand, he can have a grand of that for his trouble this morning. And I think the taxman gets 20% of that as well. There's a massive tax, is there not, on lottery wins over a certain amount? Is it 5 grand as well? So we'll give that a scratch. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we should do the Euro Millions together as well, a little syndicate for Good Morning Portugal. If you're interested in that, do let me know. Have a bit of fun with that. And we can choose the balls or the numbers live on air if you like, if you're interested in. I don't think, maybe this isn't even legal to be suggesting that people gamble on air like this. I don't know what sort of trouble I might be getting myself into, but we'll be definitely scratching a Raspadinha a little bit later on as well. Probably wait for Filomena to do that. Over at the Portugal Decoded Substack this morning, we've got the presidential runners and riders. So we are moving towards a presidential election, which I think, isn't that a week on Sunday, possibly? When are they doing that? Can someone help me with that? When are the Portuguese selecting their president? And I think if we have time as well, we'll take a look at that. Portugal Decoded. I'll give you the link to that so that you can take a look for yourself. But it's distilling down to the front runners, as it were. And when I spoke with Gilda and Nunu last night, and we were talking about the possibility in these times of that could never happen, the idea of a Ventura, a president here in Portugal, they were very doubtful about that. And they were both behind a chap who I only know from a massive poster here in San Martino de Porto, which at night is slightly spooky. He's got a kindly face, but in the darkness, he's got a black background, and it looks a bit spooky as he looks over you as you drive around a roundabout. It's as though he's a psychological speed check. But Cotrin was their suggestion. So Cotrin is the hopeful for Nunu and Gilda last night. I'm trying to make this link work appropriately here for you. But, I mean, you can find Portugal Decoded yourself, I think, on Substack. actually, here's the way to do it. PortugalDecoded.substack.com. Very straightforward, actually. I am copying that, however, and popping it into the chat. Yeah, Cotrine seems to they are still at this stage thinking that no, if Ventura does get through to the later rounds, he will be knocked out, not literally, but in the presidential race, probably by Cotrine. That's their favorite, and that's one of the things they said about him is that he's a bit of like a proper, or all-round bloke. He's actually lived. He's not a career politician. He's actually worked. So they liked him on that basis. I guess both as entrepreneurs themselves will appreciate that. He seems to be one of the most rounded individuals, and Nuno made that particular point when quizzed in the debates that they have here in Portugal it's for the public to decide who performs best. He seemed to do pretty well. Cotrine seemed to be able to answer questions from every angle, which is what you might hope from the father of the nation, as it were, that he might be a well-rounded individual with something useful to say. So Cotrine is their favorite, and they're still very doubtful at this stage that Ventura would become president of Portugal. Right, so we may have time to look at that. Filomena joining us around 20 past, about half past. I also recorded yesterday the first podcast with Dr. John Briffer. We first worked together 15 years ago, and we recorded another yesterday, and it is published. It's the Life Support podcast. If you want to grab that quickly, either on YouTube or Spotify, just type in Munson and Briffer and maybe Life Support, and you'll get that. And we had a great chat. I said, John, come on, let's just talk for 30 minutes. 30 minutes is the ideal length for a podcast. 50 minutes later, we're still chatting. But we do hope to keep it down to 30 minutes, talking about work, life, and everything in between. And as the name suggests, life support. He's the man who will be bringing actionable advice to work, life, and everything in between. As the doctor of the partnership, I'm the layman here. I don't know what that says about my expertise, the lay person. But I had a great chat with him yesterday, and looking forward to many more. And the early feedback is good for a podcast that's starting from a standstill. Although we were, I think we had a few followers and people who were interested in what we were talking about 15 years ago. But I mean, that's a long time. I mean, we are the OGs in the health and well-being space of podcasting, you might say. And there are a few people who listen then who will listen again, I'm sure. But we are essentially starting again. And if you'd like to subscribe, we'd appreciate that. And we will be chatting we'll be relaunching a podcast episode every Friday. And staying with podcasts and recordings, after this show today, I'll be talking to Natasha Don, our first conversation of 2026. She'll be picking her 3 top news stories, which she'll have been writing about herself in the Portugal Resident. Always very refreshing, exciting, actually, to talk to Natasha, because she's unfiltered and says what she thinks, which is very refreshing and a lot of fun as well. I'm thinking, I wonder how people are going to respond to that when we publish that later on today, which will be 3:00 this afternoon. And I think of the publisher as well, thinking, I wonder what Bruce is going to make of that. So tune in, subscribe for that one as well. Natasha Don's news review. That'll be recorded after this show and then published later on this afternoon. As we make our way into the weekend, it's the weekend, the first big proper weekend, of course, of the year, where many people are brassic already after having a splurge at Christmas. Kind of quiet right now, the longest month of the year in many ways for many people. It does seem like a long time until February. But as we know from human psychology and our experience, that'll whiz by. It might seem like a long time this month for some people, but come February the 1st, like, where did that go? We're already a 12th into the year. Let's say a few hellos now, as well as Kevin, who's joined, Kevin Murphy, who's joined the Portugal Club. Let's see what you're saying in the comments this morning. I think that's everything I was hoping to include this morning. Yeah, and that Roxy feedback, if we get time as well, that was a lovely bit of feedback that we received about talking to Roxy, the Venezuelan living here in Portugal, and her reaction to the Venezuelan, the kidnapping and now the facing of trial of Maduro, and what her hopes are for Venezuela as well. That's on the YouTube channel now of Expats of Good Morning Portugal, I should say. And we had a lovely bit of correspondence about that. Morning, Matty. Bom dia, alegria todos e feliz sexta-feira. TGIF for you, mate. Okay, fair enough. And it looks like you might be one one of those who sees January as quite a long month this year, certainly when it comes to work. Hola, bon dia, tudo bem? From Capricorn Chris. Have we got a chronicle this morning? A Capricorn chronicle from His Majesty's the United Kingdom's public transport system, specifically London. Good morning, everyone from Gemini. Train very empty this morning. The first week back to work, and people have decided a lay-in is required. Flexible working hours means at least that, doesn't it? Just 5 more minutes. Bon dia, Chris. Hope you and the family are coping in this weather. Could be worse. You could be stuck in Birmingham. How rude. It's freezing. And stay near the radiator is the suggestion from Gemini there. Nothing like talking about. Yes, very proud of my new member this morning. Sounds like a sort of post-operative statement, that, doesn't it? Very proud of my new member this morning at the Portugal Club. Peter, honestly, what are you like? I'm expecting a mechanic to have a look at my generator, which is refusing to charge the solar batteries. Oh, hate it when that happens. Hopefully a quick fix. Fingers crossed for that. Gary, hello, mate. How you doing? How are you enjoying your visit? Bon dia from Mike as well. How are you doing? The Bartons. Clitics, no idea. Only the word. Okay, all right, fair enough. Someone had to say. I thought it was going to be Pete. Turns out it's you, Matty. Looks like a sunny day. I've got my fingers crossed for a beautiful day here in Portugal. The days are getting longer and sunnier and warmer, ever so slowly. And there will come a point, won't there, when the cold and damp is behind us. We'll have a cold and damp behind. Yes, a recipe for hemorrhoids. Yes, indeed. Sunny today and tomorrow, but more. What? Stop it with that talk of rain, you two. Great. Off to Spain for a market and tapas tomorrow. How lovely. Your bon fin semana plans there, Peter. Off to Spain for some tapas. Isn't that a lovely thing to be able to say? Just popping to Spain for some tapas. Bon dia y alegría todos. Morning to you, Kate. We'll have a look at your memes in a minute. Your memery. Carl, it is time for Janeiros. We are meeting the village gang and mouth without sound, just like you. How very dare you? Well, after today's episode, we might feel a little bit more confident to sing in January. Bon dia, Gumpers. If feliz sexta, though I have to say, the coach says I'm not feeling very sexta today. Not putting the sex into sexta-feira. Still feeling ropey, but much better than the last couple of days. One positive, though, having not eaten, I've lost 3 kilograms. My goodness. Quite a lot of flu-y sort of things around at the moment. Some of the highest ingestion of flu vaccines and some of the highest incidences of flu as well. Do we need to send the medics and the pharmaceutical researchers back to the drawing board? Oh, I can see a little rip in my green screen. If you look closely, you can see that too. Yeah, are these vaccines working? Bon dia todos from Mel. Good morning to you, Mel. And thank you for your message. Do you know, I interviewed Charles Eisenstein, I remembered. I've got a little clip of me talking to him somewhere, Mel. I'll see if I can find it. Lovely bloke. Met him in Totnes, as you might imagine, in the UK. Blimey, Ian, this is like the Truman Show, the rip in the green screen at the bottom here. Can you see that? The real world behind my photograph of San Martin de Porto Beach there. Blimey, Ian, you'll look like you've been taking a Zempic. Glad. Yeah, he's not exactly a bloater. It's Coach Turner. 3 kilograms. Blimey, write a book on that maybe. 18th of January is in many villages the celebration of San Sebastian, including the pastry called the Filioche. Okay, very good. Filioche. A thumbs up from Filomena, I think. No. It's not. It's not a thumbs up. It's a finger wag. Matty's in trouble. That's fact check. Okay, we're going to come back to that in just a moment. Oh, there is a new Portuguese fact-checking site, I think, for the presidential race. Maybe we should maybe there should be a cultural one where we can run such things past them. And Filomena should be on that committee as well. Portuguese government, give Filomena a massive pay rise and stick her on that cultural fact-checking committee. That'd be a nice little job, actually, would it not? Okay, to the coach. No worries about that. You will gain those 3 kilograms. Yeah, just fly to Portugal for the weekend. You can soon put that back on. Thanks, Pete. Wouldn't recommend it as weight loss technique. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're making fun here, but I'm sorry to hear of your pain there, coach. I'm sure, Matty, but I'm going to try and be careful what I eat. It's like that, is it? Election is on the 18th then, the 18th for the presidential election. I love that the public debates for people. Oh, I love that there are public debates. I think you're saying there, Mel, for people to analyse. That's a good thing for anybody, but fair warning, once you start reading the ingredients of food products, you might eat less of them anyway. Yeah, that's quite a good thing to do, isn't it? Read the ingredients. That puts you off. Morning to you, Bobby. How you doing? Good to see you here this morning, Bobby O'Reilly. How are things going? It's about time you were on the show, I think, with a bit of an update. I imagine you've hit the ground running this year with all the exciting projects you're involved in. How are things at Herdad de Mayo? Come along and tell us about what else you're involved with, which I'm sure will be very exciting when we next get to talk. Sarah, look at this. We're all getting ready to go to our son's wedding. Everyone, please send happy vibes towards Setúbal. Of course, lots of love, luck to the happy couple this morning. Oh, how lovely. I do love a wedding. I really do. I think it's a great moment, isn't it? In any family or community. Wonderful. It's easy to have happy vibes in Setúbal. Yeah, there you go. In Stoops. Had a doctor check my left eye. Nothing serious, thankfully. Just a case of blepharitis. What is that? How do you get blepharitis, I wonder? Probably staring into screens for too long, right, Matty? I'm sat at my desk, 8:10. The barista and I are the only ones in the office. That sounds like a good deal to me. Look, listen to him. He's so bohemian and cosmopolitan there in his office with the barista. No one said that in previous decades, did they? I mean, you'd be sat in the office with the colleague you don't like or the boss, not a barista. So what would you like this morning? A flat white, your usual, sir? And would you like a little pastry with that? Determined to make today as productive as possible. Well, you better get on with it and stop sending us messages then, Chris. Hello from Poland, from Barbara. Cześć. Dzień dobry to you, Barbara, this morning. And Sarah, what a lovely town for a wedding. Best wishes to all there. Let's give her a nice big round of applause. Come on. Oh, there they are. And bring her onto the screen. It's Filomena. Hola, bom dia, tudo bem?
Olá, bom dia, alegria.
Bom dia, alegria. Let's hear your jingle as well, Filomena. It's a little bit quiet.
The language to put me at ease.
Filomena Friday.
It's going to take time learning Portuguese.
Learning Portuguese.
Filomena Friday.
I get confused nearly
Every day.
Filomena Friday.
How do I know
Which verb is okay?
Filomena Friday.
Practice those words so loud and clear.
Filomena Friday.
On a Filomena Friday, it's a day of cheer.
Filomena Friday.
Not yet.
Trips for Brits@gmail.com.
Tripsforbrits@gmail.com for any tours Filomena might be doing this year. We'll find out if she is a little bit later on. We've got lots to talk about this morning, have we not, Filomena? Not least Paulo's birthday. And I have changed it now. Sorry about that.
It's not Paolo, but Paulo.
Paolo. There
Because
you go.
with an O, it would be the Italian or, Paolo, but not the Portuguese, Paulo.
That's a very good example of when you assume you make an ass of you and me. I made an ass of myself. I've known Paulo for years, and I was proudly, this is the Parabéns Paulo episode of Good Morning Portugal, and I spelt it wrong, so I'm so sorry. I have put that right wherever I possibly can now. So,
The intention is there. Thank you very much.
Well, not at all. How is he celebrating his birthday this year?
Working. He's working.
As we might have expected.
He's working, but then later on his brother and family come, and so we'll have dinner together.
Right, okay. It is not Paulo or Paulo.
Pamela, no.
No, it's not. But look, stop it, everybody. It's Paulo, okay? I'm having enough trouble already getting that right without people confusing things like this, okay? Should we do that fact check then? Behind the scenes, this is right. It's the spelling that's wrong, right?
Yes, and first of all, San Sebastian is not celebrated on the 18th, although, of course, the 18th is the Sunday this year, but the San Sebastian's Day is the 20th of January, okay?
Right,
so it's always around the 20th of January, the nearest we can, and in this case, because the 20th is a Tuesday, so the 18th is the Sunday that is nearest to the 20th, but the 20th is the day of San Sebastian. It's also celebrated here in Miranda do Corvo.
Is it? Okay. All right. So the first saintly celebration of the year to get us started partying. It was.
Well, it's not the first because
It isn't. Of course it isn't.
because we have already started. It's not exactly in the town, in the center of the town, but in Carapinhal, which is the nearest village to where I live. So I'm at the border between the town and Carapinhal. They have celebrated. So it's always the first Sunday of the year. They celebrate, I think it's São Silvestre, if I'm not wrong. And then this weekend, I have another village behind my house. I'm at the border of everyone.
Did you choose it on purpose to be in between all the parties?
Yeah, I have the festas from all around, and so they are celebrating São Brás, I think it is. So it's São Silvestre, São Brás, and then São Sebastião, and then it goes on and on. But January, it's a month of celebration around here.
It's one of the things I've written about Expats Portugal. They've given me a column, Carl's column, and one of the things I've written about in the first column is things you can't know until you move to Portugal, and one of them is this partying thing. You know, I think the Portuguese party more than anyone on this planet. There are famous parties like, you know, in Rio, the Carnival, and Notting Hill Carnival, and big parties around the world. You know, people go to Ibiza, you know, and Goa to party. But nobody on this earth, I think, parties like the Portuguese do. There's always a reason to have something to eat and drink and dance, I think. And it's a whole industry as well here in Portugal, isn't it?
Yes, you can say that.
Yeah. And it's wonderful for the musicians as well who tour. You know, they have an incredible summer. The climax of their working year is to be doing all the festas around the country. The TV get involved. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone. Yeah. And by the way, I was reading the comment from. I was not talking about San Sebastian Day, but rather the festivities. Yes, I understand, but I was just clarifying that the day is the 20th of January. Although, of course, on the 18th is the Sunday that people. Well, it's not just one day of celebration, is it? No, it's never just one day.
No, God, no, certainly not. No, I mean, he's a bit touchy. He's a bit touchy this morning. He's got his generators playing up. He's got blepharitis, and now Filomena's taking issue with
Probably that's why he's very sensitive today.
We love you, Matty. Don't worry. And filhos, not filhos.
Yeah. Of course, without the accent, it's filhos. But that's why the accents are very important in Portuguese, because one accent makes all the difference. Okay, so in this case, filhos is children, yes, but filhos refers to the cake. Okay.
Yes, eating children is against the law. You don't, and that's why accents are so important. So there you go. Filhos. Okay. Yeah. And we've got a few things to talk about this morning. We're going to be singing, of course, as well. We've got to sing when we get together, right? Especially singing the new year. Oh, Filomena, this sounds like a cry for help. I'm finding B1 grammar so hard. I don't know what most of the terms are in English, so hard to understand and remember so many rules in Portuguese. That's interesting, isn't it? When people start learning Portuguese, they realize they didn't even learn these things about their own native language sometimes.
That's right.
I mean, I'd never heard of the word clitic until yesterday. What is that? And then when I looked it up, it wasn't even any clearer then. If I could just share with everybody.
Yes, what you sent me, what you sent me yesterday, it was like an encyclopedia, like.
It was a thesis on one little bit of grammar. Okay, so here we go. Clitics are fundamental in Portuguese, used extensively as unstressed object pronouns. Me, te, o, a, lhe, nos, vos, os, as, se, for example, that are attached to verbs, but their placement before, after, or within the verb. The Portuguese put words inside verbs as well, very significantly between European Portuguese and Brazilian Portuguese, EP and BP, with European Portuguese using more varied placements, obviously, including enclisis, proclisis, and mesoclisis.
That's right.
I mean, who did that even in their own language? And Brazilian Portuguese often favouring proclisis or omitting them in speech, according to resources like Practice Portuguese and the Handbook of Portuguese Linguistics. The Handbook of Portuguese Linguistics. My blood is running cold at the thought of a book of Portuguese linguistics. How big is it? Is it like in 12 volumes, probably, right? So the key aspects of Portuguese critics.
I'll show you.
You've got it. I have one right here.
No. I'll just show you this.
Ah! No! Right. Verbos português. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Right.
This is just about verbs. Look, just about verbs.
It's okay, everybody. You don't have to learn them all, but it probably helps. But there's so you've got proclisis, enclisis, mesoclisis. There are dialectical differences. It's extraordinary, isn't it? I see him can be el vejo or el ovejo. That's the sort of thing we're talking about. That's what Sarah suggested. How you, in your skill as a teacher, share that in a simple way. I don't know.
Yes, of course I don't mention those technical terms because
thank God. Right.
No, because those technical terms, I mean, are awful to remember. Yes, but
Yes.
no, but we can speak about that in well, I wouldn't say in simple terms, but as simple as possible.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll do a little bit of that. Maybe we should do that first as well, and then we'll finish with some singing as a grammatical palate cleanser. Before we do, though, may I please, before I forget, before we get too carried away and have too much fun, we've been doing this over at the Portugal Club, as I think you know, the Portuguese citizenship test. Kate's already been over there to make a vote this morning. We're at number 92 of our 100 questions, Filomena. And as usual, when it comes to matters of Portuguese culture, sometimes there's disagreement, even among the Portuguese. Have you seen that book, the fact check book of Portuguese history?
No, I don't think so. No.
There was a new book. Our friend José Cruz over in the Expats Portugal community. He got it for Christmas, or bought it for himself for Christmas. And it's all the things you're told about Portuguese culture and history. But are they true? So it's a fascinating book, and we've had our sort of taste of that with the Portuguese citizenship test. Today's question might be one of those. What is the name of the traditional clay amphora used in Alentejo winemaking? Is it A, the talha? Is it B, the barrique? Or is it C, the pipa? Which would you go for here, Filomena?
The first one.
The talha. That's Kate's guess as well. It was the most Portuguese-looking word on the list.
No, it's just I can't read it because it's very small. But you have the second one was barricas.
We've got the three choices are talha, barrique, and pipa.
Yeah, barricas and pipa. May I say it or probably not?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's all educational.
It refers to the barrels.
Okay, rather than
not the amphora, let's say.
Ah, yes, barrique is like barriga, isn't it? The name given to the beer belly.
It's the barrel. The barrel. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And in that case,
pipa or barril is the same.
Okay, I'm going for talha as well then. So that's that done this morning, and I'll put the link to that so that you can do that yourself as well this morning. Oh, somebody's posted something up there as well, I think, this morning. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm going to stick that into the chat now, and let's do clitics first then this morning.
Well, okay, let's not call them anything.
What would you call them? How would you describe them?
They are pronouns.
Yes.
So some are pronomes pessoais de complemento direto, some are pronomes pessoais de complemento indireto, and there are also os pronomes reflexos.
Yeah, exactly. Exatamente.
It's exactly that. So never mind about the name, But you have always, I think all of you have met those me, te, se, and and le. Remember the le
Yeah, yeah,
and lus. So I think you have come across one way or the other with those
yeah.
little parts of the word. So uh, basically, the me, obrigada, the me and the te, for example, never change, being direct object or indirect object, and I'm going to explain in a simpler way. But for example, if you want to replace, instead of saying, for example, in Portuguese, eu dou presente ao Paulo. So that means I give a present to Paulo,
Yep.
okay? And if I want to replace a present, so in Portuguese, presente, right? Eu dou presente. If I want to replace that, instead of saying I give a present, if I want to say I give it to Paulo, this it, presente, is it masculine or feminine? Presente.
It's masculine.
Masculine, because I'm saying right? Presente. So if I want to replace this presente, I have to replace it by the o, right? In Portuguese, we pronounce u, right? The o for the masculine. Remember the o for the masculine. So u. So I can say eu dou with hyphen and dou for the verb, do, and then an hyphen and then dou, right? So eu dou ao Paulo. So that is, I give it to Paulo. So in that case, you just have to see if the thing that you want to replace is a masculine or it's a feminine. If it's a masculine, it's u. If it's a feminine, for example, if I say instead of presente, we have another word for that, prenda. And then if we say uma prenda, it's a feminine. So if I want to replace uma prenda, I would replace it with an a, and I would say eu doa ao Paulo. Then imagine that I want to replace, instead of I give a present to Paulo, I can say, in English, you can say I give him a present, right? I give him a present. So in that case, if I want to replace to Paulo, this is not just what or who, it's not just Paulo, it's to Paulo. So this is what we call an indirect object. And so instead of the o, it's also masculine, right? Because o Paulo is masculine. But if it's to Paulo, it's not the o, but it's the the LHE, because it's not simply who or what, but to whom. Okay? So if it's
To whom?
to whom,
Yes.
then it must be the le and not the u or a. And the le is valid for a man, a woman. If it's plural, is lus. So you don't have to worry so much about being a masculine or a feminine, because it's always le. So I can say, for example, o Rui deu ramo de flores à Maria. So Rui gave a bunch of flowers to Maria. If I want to say he gave her a bunch of flowers, I just say o Rui deu-lhe ramo de flores. So this lhe replaces to Maria. Okay? So this is basically the first step to understand what is supposed to be replaced by u or a, and what is supposed to be replaced by lhe or lhus if it's more than one person. Okay? Did you understand that part? The u, a, and the
Pretty-
lhe?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think so. And
So
maybe people could confirm as well in the chat. We've got questions about it as well, which is great. Thank you,
yes,
Mr. S.
and okay, yes. But yes, I see some questions, but I wanted to start
Of course,
at
yeah,
the
absolutely.
beginning, right? At the
Yes,
beginning.
yes.
So the beginning is understanding also which one to use, if it's ou, or le. The
Mhm.
others are always the same. As I said, the me, the te, for example, ele deu-me, or eu dou-te, or that is me and you. It's always me and you. But
Mhm.
if it's him, it can be him, ou, or to him, which is le,
Yeah.
or her in terms of masculine and feminine in Portuguese, because we don't have the it, right? So it can be it in English, but for us it's
Yeah.
always her or him, right? Because it's
Yeah.
either masculine or feminine. So if it's something masculine, it's always u. If it's something feminine, it's always a. And then
Okay.
if it's to him or to her, it's always je, right? You remember, so when it's to, when you have a preposition also, not just the thing, for example, if I say I give a present to Paulo, I can't just say I give in English you can say I give Paulo a present, but not in
Mm.
Portuguese. We don't have that structure. But um, if you just say I give a present Paulo, you can't say that, right? So you have to say to Paulo, and so that's why in Portuguese you have to say lhe. Okay,
Okay.
this is the first part. Now, where are these me and tu and su? Because if it's a reflexive verb, like he washes himself, it's ele lava-se.
Yes.
That is the se, right? But um, it's not always after the verb. Um, so there are a few rules that determine that this me or tu or se or le, those little
Mm.
pronouns, come before the verb. And basically, if it's a negative, it's always like the example that Mr. S65 gave, right?
Let's
Dou-lhe,
call him Mr.
não
S.
lhe dou. Okay, so we have that example, dou-lhe, não lhe dou, in negative. Yes, you change the position, that's right. So if it's a negative, it's não o dou, that's right, exactly.
Mm.
So
Okay.
then dou-lhe, I give to her or to him, and não lhe dou, if it's a negative, the lhe comes before without any hyphen, and so that is correct, okay? So if
And
it's a
a great
negative,
example. Isn't that a good example?
amo-te, não te amo. That's right.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love you. I don't love you. So
Yes.
that's exactly like that. If it's an affirmative, let's say it's the pronoun comes after the verb with an hyphen. But if it's a negative, it comes before without the hyphen. But not just if it's a negative. There is a long list of words that demand this pronoun before the verb. For example, if you have também, also, if you have já, can be already or still or yet. If you have ainda, for example, still. Of course, ainda não, not
Yes,
yet. It's
ainda
also
now. It's a good phrase to
ainda,
know that, isn't it? Not yet.
ainda
Yeah.
não, not yet. If you start the question with a question word, so if you start any question with quando, quanto, a que horas, que cor, anything,
Vale. Yeah.
okay, qual é, any question word, if you start the question with a question word, then you have to put these, if you have a pronoun like this, you have to put it before the verb. So there are, yes, so it's being written. There are lots of these expressions. Like, for example, those words that are indefinite, like todos, everyone, or ninguém, nobody. So, okay, so
We've
um,
already there's already one brain on fire now. Because if anyone could smell smoke, it's Mr. S's brain.
now it's easier to understand. I'm just saying the theory, but it's easier to
Yeah, fair
understand
enough.
if you go to practical exercises, examples, and it's I think it's easier to understand with examples rather than this. But
Oh
this
yeah.
is the explanation why it happens. So basically, yes. And in Brazilian Portuguese, for example, they don't do that. They just put the pronoun before usually, and so they don't usually do the like we do the pronoun after the verb.
That's the
So
EP and the
that's why
BP,
it's
right?
easier. That's why it's easier to learn Brazilian Portuguese.
Yeah, right. Here, Mel's asking, what about if I give a present to me? No, we don't give
Eu
ourselves presents.
dou-me. No, yeah, you can say eu dou-me.
There you go. All right. It's easy to get, but very hard to use it. And I suppose an interesting point here, isn't it? Is that there may be an alternative you can use tactically, and it's whether you're learning it for the purposes of passing
Uh,
an exam or a certificate and so
yeah,
on, isn't it?
no, I mean, very hard to use. It's a question of repetition,
Yeah.
because once you get used to listen to that phrase, if the phrase is like that all the time, you memorize it like that, and you don't even think about the rule. But if you memorize it like that, it's a question of a lot of repetition.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the real difficulties are with things like velu. Okay. Yes, I'm just explaining the very basics, right? But then, then there are the special rules, where, for example, this verb, the verb ver, right? Ver, to see or to watch.
Yeah.
And the verb ver, if you have in a sentence, where you have ver, for example, eu gosto de ver o João, okay? I like seeing João. So if you want to say, I like seeing him, eu gosto de vê-lo. And why? Because you have to replace João by U, right? We saw
Mhm.
a while ago, o Paulo was replaced, not o Paulo, but the present was replaced by U because it was a masculine. So, this, eu gosto de ver o João. O João is a masculine, so you replace it by, it's not to João, it's just o João, right? It's not to him, it's just him. I like to see him. So you replace by an O. But the verb ver ends with an R. So when you have a verb that ends with an R, in the infinitive, they always end with an R, or if the verb ends with a Z or with an S. This is a special rule. You take that last letter, so you take the S, you take the Z, or you take the R, and then after the dash, you have to put an L, an extra L. And in
Okay.
this case, because of pronunciation, you also have to put the accent on the E. On an E, it's always acento circunflexo. On an A, for example, it's acento agudo. So that is for the way we read it. We have to keep the same pronunciation, so we need the accent here there because we don't have the R anymore. So velu is because we have taken the R and we have added the L to the O. Then you also have the N instead of the L. Sometimes you have to put an N because you have at the end of the verb a nasal sound. So you have, for example, down, they give, right? Eles dão. And then if it's down, ao is a nasal. And so you have to you don't take any letter there. You keep the verb as it is, but after the hyphen, you have to add an N. For example, eles dão no. So they give it, for example, or him, or whatever, because it depends on the sentence. But so the when it's a nasal, so like oi, põe, and ao, and the M. Remember, the M is also nasalating the vowel before. So yes, down. But also, for example, põem no, the verb. Eles põem nasal.
Oh, wow.
Põem no. Eles põem no.
It sounds like a car going past. Wow.
Põem,
Like
põem.
Formula One.
Põem.
Wow.
Põem.
Right. I will clip that. I will clip that. So we've got a bit of a clitics lesson, and having it on in the background, I think is.
So hard to pronounce.
Yeah, I mean, there's an interesting point here from Barbara, and we will sing now. Everybody, don't get downhearted. Everything is so heavy now, Barbara. That's a very kind of grown-up view on this, isn't it? When we were learning our native languages, we were just hearing it in the background, and we weren't constantly judging ourselves and saying things like, can you imagine if when you were 2, if you kept saying to yourself in your head, I'll never get this, I'll never get this, this is so hard. We didn't, did we? And I think we have to afford ourselves that sort of lightness around this. It's like, okay, Filomena's talking to us about this, and one day it'll be like, yeah, that's what she was talking about. But if we kind of beat ourselves up and judge ourselves, I don't think that helps in the learning process, does it?
No, but Barbara, of course, is not learning Portuguese as such because she's Polish.
Yes.
Barbara is Polish. She's in Poland. She's not living in Portugal, and she's a friend of mine, but she's not learning Portuguese. But of course, it is difficult, and I'll tell you what, it is so difficult that even the native speakers don't know it.
Exactamente. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Even
That's something
native
to remember.
make a lot of mistakes in this specific matter. Lots of Portuguese make mistakes because it's so hard.
This sounds like fun. The nasalation game. Send us a link to that Portugal Lifestyle iOS app. That sounds like great fun for a Saturday night. You know, like a bored family in Portugal.
Like
What should we do tonight? Let's play the nasalation game. Woohoo! Right, agreed. Not only are we judging ourselves, but others are judging us and making nasty comments or laughing. Yeah, but they're laughing with us.
No, nasty. No, I don't believe nasty. No, I don't believe it's nasty comment. Of course, they might laugh, but they're not laughing at you. You know, they are not laughing. It's with you. Right? So it's not making fun of you. It's just because it's genuinely funny. Because if you say something, you know, that with a mistake, it's just funny.
Yeah, and yeah, absolutely. Oh, they do. All right, Mel's. Take no notice. You need better friends, I think, or better neighbours than that. Yeah. And I'm sure that they will, possibly in equal measure, help you as well. We do need to know more about we need all the help we can get, and possibly including movies as well. Thank you very much, Peter, for this. If you're watching Portuguese films to help you, here's a suggestion from Peter: The Death Goats. I don't know how good that is. Every little bit helps, possibly. And look, from Matty, there's San Sebastian. There's a nice bit of nasalation. San Sebastian. Yeah, okay. So let's sing now. Thank you, Filomena, for that. I will make a clip of it, so we'll put it in our grammatical collection.
Yeah, no, I know this is very hard, and it's especially if it's in 20 minutes. I mean, it's almost impossible to explain everything and to give examples for you to understand a little better. But yeah.
And bear that in mind, what Filomena said. You know, the Portuguese people themselves struggle with it. José Cruz, who I mentioned before, he bought himself the poetry of José Saramago as a Christmas present. And he said, I'm not understanding a lot of it. And it was like, well, actually, not many people do. This poetry.
Saramago is very hard, very hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Very hard to
excellent.
understand.
Don't subscribe to the Portugal Lifestyle iOS app. We're going to get a discount on that, so that could be useful for all of us here learning Portuguese. Thanks
Good.
for that. Yeah, we'll do that. So maybe jump on the show in the next few weeks, and we can chat with you about that.
Thank
and how
you.
that might. Yeah, very, very good. Agreed. World's best impossible to pronounce correctly cheese, soalheira. Soalheira.
Soalheira.
Enough, right? Bon dia, Gumpers.
Soalheira.
Jackie's here, late arrival. Right. Shall we sing in January and sing happy birthday to Paulo on this special day? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Which would you like to start with? I think, should we finish on with the Parabéns a você and
probably.
go to Janeiro first?
Janeiras first. So I think people know by now what Janeiras are, right?
What
If they live in Portugal, they know this tradition, right? Or not?
Maybe. This is the singing in. It's like a New Year tradition, right? Singing in January.
Yes, it's wishing everyone a happy New Year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so groups of people sometimes get together and they go around in the village or in the town and they sing, wishing everyone a happy New Year. I
remember now.
Bumping. What? Did you have a group at your house?
No. I just remember I'm looking at the words, and I hadn't got to the after the Vamos Cantar as Janeiras is the pam para. So you've got to sing along. Okay, I'm going to share this on the screen now. We're all going to sing along, and it's immortalized by Zé Afonso, who's very important in Portuguese culture. Yeah, okay. Zeca. Yeah, okay, all right. So are you going to lead us in this? I think I hope you are, because I shouldn't. Right, okay. And maybe should we listen to the tune? Let's see what happens if we press this button. Oh, it's not coming through on the right speaker yet. Hold up.
Yeah.
We'll get a little bit. Are you hearing that yet? This?
Yes, I was.
Yep.
Vamos cantar orvalhadas, por esses quintais adentro vamos, há raparigas casadas, por esses quintais adentro vamos, há raparigas casadas.
Second verse.
It's a bit fast, isn't it?
One. Yeah.
No,
because
it's a bit
you
fast.
are already on the second one.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I don't know what happened there, but I think we should probably sing it a little bit more slowly. But that is that's the definitive version, isn't it? So maybe we could do verse 1.
You can let it go now for people who listen to the
Quintais adentro vamos, há raparigas.
Okay, I need to fast forward it.
Casadas. Por esses quintais adentro vamos, há raparigas casadas.
All together now. Oh no, it doesn't give us that. It only gives us the first bit, so we're going to have to do it ourselves.
But but you have already passed that refrain. You have already passed. If you come.
Oh, do I go back here?
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh yes, okay. Here we go.
Oh.
One more time. Now you know. Okay. Right. Okay. Take it away.
Okay. So, vamos cantar as janeiras. I'm singing slower. Okay. So, vamos cantar as janeiras. Vamos cantar as janeiras. Por esses quintais adentro vamos, às raparigas solteiras. Por esses quintais adentro vamos, às raparigas solteiras. Pam pararirara, pam pararirara, pam pam pam
pam. Okay, one more time, please. And all together, I can hear you. I can't hear you at the back. Sing up, please. Right. Okay, come on.
Okay. So shall we go to the second one?
We're running out of time, and I want to sing Happy Birthday as well.
Okay,
so maybe
okay.
we just do verse 1 again, and we'll nail the first verse and the refrain.
Vamos cantar a janeira. Vamos cantar a janeira. Por esses quintais adentro vamos, às raparigas solteiras. Por esses quintais adentro vamos, às raparigas solteiras.
All together now.
Pam, paniririrari, pam, 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 pam. Pam, paniririrari,
Bum, bum, bum. I just want to keep saying piri piri, but it's nothing to do. It's nothing to do with piri piri. Everybody,
No.
right? Take those words. I will give you them in the chat so that you can go and sing that yourself for the rest of the
And
day.
you can look it up on YouTube, and you can see videos with that.
Yeah, and go and sing it to your neighbours over this weekend and report back to us. I do. It's true. Portuguese wine does help both with pronunciation and singing. Finally, then, a parabéns, I will say, the happy birthday, and this is really important culturally, isn't it? If you can learn this, you'll give yourself quite an advantage in a Portuguese social situation, which I think is lovely. So
yes, it's nice. It's
let's
nice
sing
to know.
Paula happy birthday, and we're going to Gail at large here for the lyrics. And this was part of a birthday celebration. That looks like a pudding to me, but she says it's a Molotov.
That is Molotov.
All right, Molotov, which is too complicated to explain right now why it's called a Molotov. So we're singing Parabéns. I will say now you all know the tune to this, don't they? And this is really good. If you can learn this and you're at a Portuguese birthday party, your Portuguese friends will be really impressed. We're singing this now for Paulo and for Jazz, as it turns out, Jason today.
And this is just the first part, because then after the person blows the candles, then we go on.
Yes. Okay. Well, glad to have been of some service, Pete. He's just spat his coffee, listening to us this morning. So, a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4 for Paulo now. Parabéns
a você nesta data querida, muitas felicidades, muitos anos de vida. Hoje é dia de festa, cantam as nossas almas para o menino Paulo, uma salva de palmas.
And that's where everybody will be clapping.
Tenha tudo de bom do que a vida contém. Tenha muita saúde e amigos também.
Hey. I learnt that the other night when I was doing the karaoke with a load of Portuguese folks in a cafe bar here in San Martino. I said, what is give a big hand? How about some applause? Palmas, it's simply palmas, isn't it?
Palmas. Yeah.
Filomena, thank you so much. I hope Paulo has a fantastic birthday weekend. Nice that it's on a sexta-feira. So, bom fim de semana to you all. And I hope you have a wonderful birthday celebration. And thank you. Muito obrigado. E bom fim de semana.
Obrigada e até ao próximo mês, até fevereiro.
Até a próxima vez, fevereiro. Absolutely. Well, we hope it will be a little bit more.
Fevereiro, mais festa, carnaval.
Oh my goodness, yes. Okay, we're just practicing, aren't we, at the moment? Beautiful Filomena, Carl firmly in second place. Were you, Peter, yourself at home? I hope you were. And finally, on behalf of us all,
Beijinhos, Bárbara.
Cheers, Filomena. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Ciao.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show